So I have approximately 12 questions to ask you. Both.
Okay, great.
Firstly, the producer of your film is one of my favorite director, J.J. Abrams.
Ah.
Can you talk about your collaboration of this movie? Both. Did you meet him, for example?
So I met JJ at the local park.
Okay.
Our children played together. They became friends, and they're very good friends. They became friends when they were little, and they're great friends still. And so JJ became, I just knew him personally. Professionally, our paths had not crossed.
Yes.
Even though I'd been a writer, and I was writing comedies, he was building his empire.
Yes, of course.
Yes. But he said, "What are you working on?" And because he knew I was a writer, and I said, "Oh, I'm writing this script that's very personal. It's something totally different. I'm trying this." He said, "Oh, I would like to read that when you're finished with it." And then when he read it, he said, "I would love. I want to be involved. I want to help you get this made."
Good.
Lucky me.
Yes, of course.
Lucky me. So that's what happened, and what ended up happening was we made it outside the studio system, which was good for me. I didn't really think it belonged in the studio system.
Yes.
I wanted to make it with people who really. I didn't want it to be something that a studio did because of JJ. Because of their relationship with JJ. Because then I didn't think they'd really care about the film. I wanted somebody to embrace it, who really cared about the film. So JJ stayed on as an executive producer and helped me in numerous ways in terms of getting great deals with all of my different post-production, sound, and we edited the film at his company headquarters, Bad Robot. So he's really been a wonderful champion, and I don't think anyone would have. I think his advocacy, his support of me, helped get the money for the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you success to have in your casting such a great casting, of course, children and adult, and Mark Ruffalo and Zoe Saldana?
So Mark Ruffalo, who is one of my favorite actors.
Me too.
Oh, good. We sent the script to him. He read it, and he said, "I want to meet with her. I want to meet with her. I love this movie." So we got together, we had lunch, and we just instantly clicked. And it's one of those things, you just go with your instincts. He loved it. He's funny. I knew I wanted someone who could do the whole range, be funny, move us to tears, be vulnerable, grounded. Someone who could play mental illness from a real place. So I was, of course, absolutely thrilled that he wanted to do it. And then the same happened with Zoe, in that we sent her the script, and she really responded to the script. And I think that both of them are I think they were both very happy to put themselves behind a project. That they loved the script, but that I was a first-time female director was something that both of them wanted to lend their powers to. Their superpowers.
Yes, of course.
Because they're superpowered.
She's
not crying. She has allergies.
Did you like to work with them? Yes? Did you like to work with them? To work with
Yes, yeah,
Mark and...
It was really incredible. They are both really, really talented people.
Yes.
And I don't think without them I wouldn't have been able to do anything that I did on the movie.
Okay.
Because they were so helpful. Like in scenes, for example, there's a scene where Mark is trying to leave.
Okay.
And I'm trying to stop him.
Yes, at the door, yes, at the door, yes. Excellent.
So I was having a lot of trouble with that scene, and I didn't really know what I was supposed to do, and he just told me, he stopped me and said, "Just get in front of me in the door. Just wherever I go, just get in front of me and block me."
Yeah, he said, as I move around the room, just get in front of me.
And so that was really, really helpful. So then I could just think, okay, I have to get in front of him, and then he could do what he needed to do to move around, and that made the scene just flow so much.
Yeah,
It's a good scene, yes, strong scene for the movie. Can you talk about your collaboration with Theodore Shapiro?
Oh, Eddie Shapiro. So he is a wonderful composer.
Yes, of course.
And he came to see the movie. It was partly my music supervisor, Randall Poster, who is a big music supervisor who I've known for a long time, and I was thrilled that he was the music supervisor. He put me in touch with Teddy, and Teddy came to see the movie and just responded really strongly
Okay.
to an early cut
Okay.
of the film. And I loved him. Teddy's very thoughtful. So we talked about, I talked about wanting it to be an intimate theme. I said I love family singing. I thought of the movie, this is a family that sings a lot together. So voices of children and a family that sings together is something I'm interested in, keeping it pretty small and simple to reflect the time period and he sort of said, look, I want to kind of think about that upright piano in the movie as a sort of a centerpiece for the sound. And we had he was great I loved working with him because he's very quick, and he really, which is impressive because he's so thoughtful. I think he kind of designs his approach, and then he goes at it. But in terms of back and forth, it was great because there were certain things where I would say, I need this cue to sound less ominous and more like this is a family. Just trying to starting to figure out how to work together, and he would say, okay, got it, and then he'd come back, the next day with a whole different sound.
Yes.
So I loved working with him.
Good. Why did you choose as a title of your first film, Infinitely Polar Bear? Can you explain?
I can explain that. So it's an odd title, but it came from my father, which was that when I was in college, my sister and I were in college, my father had a manic episode. It was pretty extreme, and he managed to hold himself together. He managed to sort of stay stable while we were living with him. But after we both left, it was very hard for him to stay stable. So he was having a manic episode. We had to take him to the hospital, to a mental hospital, and check him in. And as we were sitting with him he was kind of in a giddy mood, I would say, and he was willing to go to the hospital. But as we were sitting there, he was filling out the intake form to be admitted, and it said, what is your diagnosis? Schizophrenic, bipolar, some other things, or other. And he checked other, and he wrote Infinitely Polar Bear.
Okay, so the title.
Yeah.
The family shown in this film is atypical. Why did you find such good idea and approach for this comedy?
Wait, say that again, sorry.
Sorry. The family shown in this film is atypical.
Yes.
Why did you find such good idea and approach for this comedy?
Well, I guess I feel like families are often find unconventional ways to exist, and they don't always follow all these, like we all have this idea of the typical family, and I don't feel like people fit into that mold, and I wanted to tell, that in my experience, we didn't, and in the end, we loved each other and we were fine, so I sort of wanted to tell it because it has a happy ending. I mean, it's funny because I feel like the movie, the whole story had a happy ending, and that my father was able to take care of us, and we were okay. It was sad too because I think at the end of the movie, that these girls. He did what he needed to do was to launch these girls into the world, but he will be alone once they're gone. And what is moving to me is I think he would love nothing more than for them to stay with him forever, but at the same time he wants nothing more than for them to go out into the world and have lives. So that's bittersweet. It's not completely happy for him, but he did triumph. And I wanted to tell a movie about the little sort of the small triumphs of life,
Okay. Which were the biggest difficulties that you met both during the production and the shooting of this film?
The biggest difficulties?
Yes. And for you, the same question also. Thank you.
The biggest difficulties were getting everything we needed in the number of days that we had.
Okay.
That's always hard. I didn't have reshoots of this film. I would have loved to have reshoots because there are certain things that I wished I'd gotten that I didn't. I was not, I would say the biggest difficulty was the days when there were 5 children working.
Yes.
When 5 children are working, it's crazy. It's a nightmare. They're all talking. They won't shut up. You know, it was like that was where I felt like, oh my God, I've lost control of this thing. What are we going to do? So that was always, those days were the hardest. I came to dread trying to corral those 5 children.
And you?
Was it 5? Yes, 5.
It was, the hardest part for me, it wasn't the lines or the actual, I don't think, acting. It was more what was happening beyond
Okay.
the movie, like at home, what was happening, because I was alone for a while because my sister was at home.
Okay.
I hang out with.
Well, this is before the movie started.
No, but she was gone during the movie actually.
Why were you home alone?
I mean, I just was. A lot of the times I would eat dinner by myself, and and it was just the whole way that the life had changed so much.
Okay, for this one.
Was the hardest part.
Right.
Good. Did you see some film during this festival? What do you think about it?
I just arrived yesterday. I arrived yesterday morning. We came from Toronto Film Festival.
Okay.
But so I saw Get On Up.
Yes.
And
Did you like it?
I liked it.
Did you see him, sir?
I didn't.
She
I was too tired.
sick and
right.
jet lag. But I love James Brown.
Yes.
And I thought he did a great job. I loved watching him dancing and everything. So I'm a huge James Brown fan. So I was happy to see the movie.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.